Hi Capricorn, welcome to Sweet Tea Astrology and Tarot. My name is Erica, welcome to the channel. I'm so glad that you found me. This is your mid-month February 2017 video where I'm going to do more talking about the cards than I will astrology this go round. But before I get into the cards, I want to mention something that I forgot to bring up in your February video. So, Capricorn, why don't you sit a spell so we can talk about your stars for a second? Okay, on February 27th or 28th, depending on where you live on the planet, there's going to be an exact opposition, which is going to feel like a tug of war between two areas in your life. This is going to involve Mars, the planet of energy, impulse, and aggression, Uranus, the planet of shocks and surprises, changes, liberation, and rebellion, and the planetoid Eris, which is known as the warrior goddess. It's also known as the goddess of discord. Think of her as Xena, warrior princess, or Aries' little sister. Aries, the god of war. And these three energies, these three planets or planetoids, are in the sign of Aries, which is a very forceful sign. Very brave and courageous, but also very impulsive. And Mars rules Aries, so Mars is very comfortable being here. But there's going to be an exact opposition from these planets or planetoids to the planet Jupiter, which is in Libra right now. This is going to be occurring between your 4th house and your 10th house. The 4th house is the house that's ruled by Cancer, and it governs your home and family, and it speaks to your roots and your foundations as well. Home is where you consider home to be. Family is who you share that home with. That can be your parents. That can be your partner or spouse, your children or fur babies, your house guests, housemates, or roommates. And the 10th house is where Jupiter is, and this is the house that Capricorn rules. So this is your house on the astrological wheel. And it's that house that I like to think of as it's kind of like the hybridization of a William Shakespeare quote. William Shakespeare said, "All the world is a stage." And I see the 10th house as how you approach the world. It's the stage that you approach the world on, and it's how the world knows you through your reputation or status. 10th house is career, status, reputation, dealing with your destiny, and also authorities. This can be authority figures in your world. This can be just authority figures outright. Or this can be authorities in their field, like an expert, say a doctor or a lawyer or a professor. So there's going to be a pull between, let's say, work and family, or your reputation and your family, or your reputation and your roots. Because that 4th house is also roots and foundation. That can be your internal roots and foundation or structure. Structure would be like your teeth or your bones. Foundation would be like your inner philosophy, your basic core philosophy and beliefs. And that could also speak to your external roots and foundation. So if this isn't playing out in your home life or on an internal level for you, then go outside and check your home for any issues with your foundation or anything with roots, or even possibly dealing with plumbing might be an issue for you. So forewarned is forearmed, Capricorn. Now, with this energy is going to come a feeling of later regrets. And what I mean by that is you're probably going to blow up. You're probably going to have an argument with someone if you aren't using this energy the right way. One of the ways that you can navigate this energy is by counting to 10, remaining grounded, and understanding that understand that you need to use the energy or it will use you. And what I mean by that is, with Mars being here, I would say it would be a great time for you to do some house cleaning. Mars in the 4th house is in the home. I would be doing spring cleaning, doing some yard work, anything that will get that extra energy out. Because if you don't, it's going to build into aggression, and that's where a big fight could probably occur in your home, and you don't want that. So just be careful. Forewarned, like I said, is forearmed. Now, also understand that if you are dealing with, living with, or if you have a lot of Aries Scorpio, or Aquarius energy, you're probably going to be dealing with a migraine if you aren't riding this wave properly. Because the energy is going to work its way through you one way or another. So use it as opposed to letting it use you. There are a couple things that are possible under the influences of this energy as well that I want to give you a little bit of information about. So, under this influence, especially after the solar eclipse and everything, there's going to be a possibility for confrontations. And in those confrontations, there can be arguments. And in those arguments, there can be escalations. And there can be eruptions. And what I mean by eruptions is that this can be something that happens on a global scale. It can be something that is geophysical, like an earthquake or volcano, God forbid, but still there are a lot of different channels on YouTube that follow planetary angles and planetary geometry and how they can trigger earthquake activity or those types of things. And I've listed some in other videos, but one that I follow a lot is Suspicious Observers. And the other one that I follow, and I'm going to mispronounce his name because it's a foreigner that has the channel, it's Diatrinium or something to that effect, where he goes through and looks at the different planetary angles and gives earthquake prediction forecasts, which is really pretty interesting. I'm very fascinated by that sort of stuff. But like I said, I'm all about trying to empower y'all with information, and that was something that I left off on the February video for the astrology portion, and I wanted you to know about it. But don't worry, I'm going to have all of this time-stamped. So, what's going to happen now is I'm going to show you a couple of boxes because I'm going to transition over to the cards, Capricorn. The first deck box that I'm going to show you is the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck. I'm going to pull you a card from this deck. I'm also going to pull you a card from the Divine Circus Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. She commissioned many different artists to do the artwork for this deck, so I'm not going to be able to give them each a personal shout out, but I do send loving and grateful energy their way. I'm also going to pull for you a card from the Healing and Meditation Oracle deck as well, and do the longer tarot spread for y'all. So what I'm going to do now is grab my deck, give it a little cough because I was feeling a tickle at the back of my throat. I'd been fighting that for a minute. I'm going to take this time while I'm shuffling to remind you Capricorns out there that this is a general reading. So if these messages, this tarot reading is not resonant for you, that's more than fine because you've got more than just Capricorn in you, darling. And what I mean by that is you've got an astrological chart that has each zodiac sign associated with it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, then I invite you to check, go to your Google or whatever browser and look up the words free natal chart, and you can type in your birth information, but make sure that it's accurate because you want this chart accurate so your readings will be accurate. Fill out your birth information, birth date, birth time, birthplace, and it will generate a chart that has 12 houses on it and a bunch of different lines and stuff. And there's videos on YouTube that teach you how to read your chart. If you still have a hard time understanding it, you can send me a screenshot of that chart to sweettastro@gmail.com, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible with those placements because I feel like that's something everybody needs to know about themselves. Not only so you can watch my videos, but you can watch other readers' videos out there. And it's just really empowering, aside from knowing those signs. I've used astrology not only as a predictive tool, but also as a means for psychoanalysis on myself. And being able to understand things on a very different level that occurred to me, or that have occurred in my life. It's just been very healing for me. And I'm a Scorpio riser, so I get this kind of stuff, and my chart shows that I should have been doing this kind of stuff a long time ago. So I'm going to cut for you now, my Capricorns. Alright, I'm going to pull the bottom card to represent the underlying theme or the overarching energy of the spread. The first card represents the present energy. The second represents the past. The third represents the possible obstacles. The fourth represents the possible help. And the fifth represents the possible outcome. From the Healing and Meditation Oracle deck. I got this deck very early on in my spiritual awakening journey. I got it at a secondhand store, so it was just a little box. There were no artist credits to it, but I like to use this deck some, especially around the eclipses. It can be nice to help reinforce the reading sometimes. Alright, top card from that deck. Now from the Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle deck. Okay. Got a card fall out, so we're going to use that one. And finally, from the Divine Circus Oracle by Elena Fairchild. I love, the back reminds me of the American Horror Story Circus series. The Freak Show. You know what I'm talking about. And I'm a real fan of Elena Fairchild's artwork, or her oracle decks. Let me put it like that. Because it's not really her artwork, but her decks are beautiful. And the knowledge and the reinforcement that they bring to the readings is quite powerful and very synchronistic, I find, more often than not. Top card from that deck for you Capricorns for this mid-February reading. Alright, y'all, now what I'm going to do is flip these cards over, do the tarot math, and I'll be right back with your story. Hang tight, Capricorn. I'll be right back. Hi, Capricorn. I'm back with your cards, so let's get started. The underlying theme or overarching energy for you this reading is the Two of Pentacles. The 2 represents the second house on the astrological wheel, which is ruled by the zodiac sign of Taurus. That represents your money, your values, your earning ability, your self-esteem, but it also represents your possessions. I like to think of it as the house of mine. Anything that you could classify, point to, identify, or introduce as mine, and this includes your family, things that you may own, pardon me, loved ones, etc., all falls under that second house, in my opinion. The Pentacles represent Earth sign energy, and the Earth signs are Taurus, Virgo, and you Capricorn. The Pentacles also represent our resources, and this can be money, but it's also our health. Health is the biggest resource that we have. Without our health, we cannot do anything else. But it also, like I said, speaks to your money, and it also deals with other things that you could expend on another living thing or situation, like your time, energy, love, devotion, etc. It feels like this card is representative of a juggling of finances, a juggling of resources, and trying to find balance or strike that balance in that area of your life. You could be looking at your resources. What's interesting here is that you are having Mercury move into your second house, Mercury being the planet of thought, movement, and communication. So thought, movement, and communication moving into that second house of money, earning ability, resources, possessions. So this card very much makes sense. It looks like there's been some up and down in the background as well. So it could be that finances have been coming and going, or that your budget has kind of been up and down throughout at least February, if not the beginning of the year to now. What also is interesting to me, and I can't help but not notice it now that I've looked at the astrology notes in front of me. You see this 8 right here? It can also be the infinity symbol, but you're experiencing a lunar eclipse at 22 degrees. Here's the 2, 22 degrees in Leo in your 8th house, and that's the house that's ruled by Scorpio. That's the house of life, death, and rebirth. It's also dealing with other people's money, and that can be your spouse's wage, that can be tax returns, inheritance, that can be that can be like scholarships and grants, loan money, money that comes to you not through an hourly wage on your behalf. It can also be gifts or lottery winnings as well, but it's the underlying theme. Now, the card that represents the present energy at play is the Ten of Wands. And this 10 represents, like I said, that Capricorn ruled house, the house that you rule. Once again, that William Shakespeare quote, all the world is a stage. I think of the 10th house as the stage that you approach the world on. And it's how the world knows you through your status and your reputation. That 10th house is career, status, reputation, dealing with authority figures. It also is it's like the house of destiny. Your status and your reputation are both things that can be changed, like your status would be on Facebook, or your status, like your marital status or relationship status. And the reputation could be like getting another degree, or getting a degree, or changing your title in some way, going from Miss to Mrs., or going from being a single person to having a partner, or having a partnership and then having a baby. Changing of those types of relationships and your status in them. The wands represent fire sign energy, and the fire signs are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. You are going to be dealing with 10th house energy at the very end of the month with this exact opposition between Mars and Uranus and Aries and Jupiter and Libra. This is speaking more to that 10th house side, and it could be that you feel like you're doing a lot of work. It could feel like you feel very overburdened and you aren't having anybody that has your back. It could feel like you are nose to the grindstone and just trying to get it done, but clearly overburdened and, overburdened to the point to where you can't look up and see what's coming in front of you. It could be that you're trying your best to be or remain distracted. Sometimes it's really easy to do that when you don't want to confront or deal with things that are going on in your world. No judgment here. But I see this as a card of heavy burden and feeling like you aren't being very supported, and you don't have a whole lot of help. You have a lot of responsibilities, and if you mess up, there's a lot of things that are going to fall. You could also be feeling like you're forced into some sort of responsibility, or you're dealing with some sort of responsibility that has really taken over your world and taken over your focus, and you don't like that, Capricorn. And like I said, this could be dealing with work, but this could also be dealing with your relationship, and this could be dealing with your partnership at home as well. It doesn't have to be only a work or a career situation, because that 10th house, like I said, deals with that status and that reputation, meaning things that change, those, and that deals with our partnerships in many ways. Now, the card that represents the past is the Three of Cups. The 3 represents the 3rd house on the astrological wheel, and that is ruled by Gemini. That's the house of short distance journeys, siblings, cousins, neighbors, and the people in your neighborhood. It also deals with communication. Communication is a pretty broad topic. It's how you speak. It's how people interpret you. It's how you interpret others. It's how you digest and consume information as well. It's also your technological devices and your communication devices, the things that you use to get your message or your voice out into the world or to transmit messages from yourself to another individual. This also includes your commute. That's not only the path that you take or the way that you get there, but how you get there, so the vehicle that you use as well. The cups represents water sign energy, and the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. We're having a solar eclipse in the 3rd house for you on the 25th or 26th of the month. This solar eclipse is at 8 degrees of Pisces, and like I said, occurring in that 3rd house. Solar eclipses are known for bringing about new growth, new energy, new, fresh, vibrant light into that 3rd house of short distance trips, siblings, cousins, neighbors, and people in your neighborhood, and communication as well. This, I feel like this is speaking to, well, this card in general is, I see it as the going out and partying card. When I'm doing a reading for like a friend, and this card comes up, the very first thing I think of is that song, Shot, 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 Shots. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Some of you don't. For those of you who don't, this is going out and drinking and doing your best to make every bad decision you've ever made in one night, because you'll wake up and you won't remember it. This is just going out with your buddies, your friends, your girls. Pardon me, y'all. I need to get a drink. Excuse me. Okay, this is going out and drinking and having a good time with your friends. This is socializing. This is spilling tea. This is those types of things. And this card is in the past position, so it could be that you are dealing with needing to leave your over socializing or your addictive behaviors behind you, and you feel like you're not being supported by anybody. This is in the past, and this is your present. So it could feel like you're not being supported in some way. If it's not your spouse not supporting you, it could be your friends not supporting you, or just that social group, that sphere that you're in. And by spouse, I mean partner. That could be boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. However, whatever y'all call it. Because I know for a long time in my relationship, we would say we were just friends. Everybody else would just laugh at us, but we were not at that point yet where we wanted to call it anything. So yeah, call it what you want, but this 3 of Cups is representative of your past. With the pumpkins down here, it makes me feel like, early fall timing. You may be looking back, reminiscing about the early fall and the things that you've done and the things that you want to change. You did just undergo your birthday transit about a month ago, moving into the new year. Now, the card that represents the obstacle at hand, and this is worrisome to me, is the 9 of Cups. And the reason I say it's worrisome is because this is the obstacle card, and this is known as the wish card. So you have a wish that's an obstacle, or you have a dream that's an obstacle, or you have a desire to finish something that is an obstacle for you, or that is in the obstacle position for this reading. The 9 speaks to the 9th house, and that is the house of Sagittarius. I like to think of that house as your worldview expanded through study or travel, and it is the house of higher education, long distance trips. It's the house of studying foreign languages, religion, philosophy, astrology, legal system matters, political system matters. It is the house that governs foreign people, foreign places, and foreign things. It's the house of adventures and questing. The Cups once again represent water sign energy, and that is Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. No direct 9th house energy per se. You could be dealing with someone who's a foreigner that is possibly getting in your way. You could be dealing with, the obstacle could be that you're wanting to go back to school, or that you're wanting to travel or learn something new, and you feel like You may feel like you have too much on your plate and you're not going to be able to tackle another thing. I don't like this card being in the obstacle position. That's bothersome to me. The obstacle also may be that whatever it is that you're wanting to do, you may not have the money for. And I'm making that link because of the red hats. Whenever I see red on a head, red is a fire sign. Fire sign that rules the head is Aries. So we do have Mercury in that second house. We've got Venus, the planet of money and resources and harmony and beauty, going retrograde between Aries and Pisces throughout March, April, and into May, into your 4th house. It could be that somebody in your home, maybe with some fire sign energy, if not an Aries, somebody who's just hot-headed, is disagreeing or not wanting to see this wish come true for you, or they don't agree with what you're wanting to do, or something like that, is what I'm seeing in these cards. The possible help in this situation is the Seven of Pentacles. The 7 speaks to that 7th house on the astrological wheel, which is ruled by Libra, and that's the house of your partnerships and your relationships and how you identify who you are as a human being through those interactions with those people in your world. It also deals with counseling and open enemies. Open enemies are someone you would have an open beef against, but also someone you would possibly testify against in an open court of law. I sometimes see it, the 7th house, as arguing online with other people that it's like YouTube or Facebook or something like that, where you're going back and forth and other people can read what's going on and be a part of it as well. So it's like they kind of get to watch and be witness to it. Pardon me. The Pentacles represent Earth sign energy. That's Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. It also represents money and resources. We've already gone over what money and resources are. But anything that you would expend on another situation or living thing would qualify. This card in itself looks like waiting for the harvest. When I see this card, I instantly think don't count your chickens before your eggs hatch. And the reason I say that is because all of these show potential, but they have not come off the vine yet. So it could be that once they're removed, there's black rotted spots on the other side or something. They just may not be suitable for harvest. This is the only one that you know is suitable for harvest. Everything else is still coming to potential. It may not grow all the way. It may wither on the vine. Not every one of these is going to come to fruition. So which one is going to be worth your time and which one isn't? That sort of thing. This is also a card of patience. And understanding that you can't rush things. Everything comes in its own timing. Time is a resource. You may be looking at how you're spending your time, especially in your partnerships and in your relationships, or looking at how much time you spend on certain tasks where your partner, lover, house guest, people that you deal with in your home or in your career, look at the weight you pull and look at the weight other people pull and understand that dynamic. It could be that you've never really paid attention to that before, and the help in the situation would be that you need to look at what people do for you, and it needs to be recognized if you haven't done that. The card that came out in the possible outcome position it looks like a scary card, but it's not, because it's the card that represents your sign. It's the Devil card. No, Capricorn, you are not a devil. But you're associated with the water goat, half goat, half fish. Goat up front, fish in the back. Party up front, business in the back. That's really what it's like for the Capricorn. Party up front and business in the back. Because this goat head up front. This is the 15th card of the Major Arcana. 1 plus 5 is 6. And that speaks to the Virgo ruled house of your work and health, or the competency and skills that you bring to the services that you provide. It also deals with your day-to-day life, your daily to-do list, and your daily agenda. You aren't having any direct 6th house energy either. No major planets are in your 6th house. So it could be that you're just, like I said, reassessing those issues in your world. You may be re-examining how much time you put in certain areas and looking at how much you overcompensate for other people so they can sit around. Or it could be vice versa. People may be looking at how much they do and are calling you out on it, or will call you out on it, might call you out on it. I'm not sure. But look at, if you're going down this, if you're keeping score, look at it with objective eyes. Don't look at it from your perspective. Look at it from the perspective of someone who isn't involved in the situation, to get a more balanced perspective, and not one that would be quite so biased, would be my opinion as well. The Devil card, like I said, representing your sign, the Capricorns. Dealing with persistence, determination, being ambitious, practical, and sometimes super serious. This card is representative of confronting your own self-imposed limitations. It's dealing with your own addictions. It's dealing with your own crutches. I mean, I've been telling a lot of people in these readings that this solar eclipse, no matter where you're at, no matter what house it's hitting you in, this solar eclipse is a great eclipse to drop the addictions that you may have. You may have an addiction to your phone, Capricorn, because this solar eclipse is in your 3rd house. You may want to manage your time better with the phone, or get one of those apps that block you from doing the random time suck app X, whatever it is you use. You may want to get one of those apps that will put a time limit on how much time you can spend on that app a day, or something to that effect. But this card is representative of confronting your limitations and your addictions and your shortcomings, and being able to recognize them and identify them so that you can grow from them. It has gone from 30 to 70 about 6 times in the last 6 weeks, and my sinuses can't keep up. And it's about 74, 75 in my room right now because I'm not running my air conditioner, so y'all can hear me. So if I'm coughing too much, I'm sorry. I'm doing the best I can. So I did the tarot math for y'all before I get started on that card. I did the tarot math for y'all. It ended up being 46. 4 plus 6 is 10, and that speaks to the 10th house, that Capricorn ruled house. This is the possible outcome, the Capricorn card. Your tarot math, the Capricorn house. So I feel like this 10th house of career, status, reputation, dealing with authorities and authority figures. Don't be drinking and driving. Don't ride dirty. Don't be stupid. Because you've got a lot of things pointing to that 10th house, and you don't want your career to be messed up because you were out playing with your friends and didn't want to get a taxi or call an Uber. You don't want to lose everything you've got for just a little bit of fun. Capricorn, you've worked too hard for it. Y'all are the world builders. It's no wonder that Capricorn season happens during the Christmas time season. And I say that because it's the Capricorns that have to build that world so that the kids can enjoy it. It's the way it is. Very, very serious. You've got that opposition between Aries and Libra. Libra hosting in your 10th house, that career, status, reputation. I really feel like that's where a lot of this energy is going to be trying to move through for many of you Capricorns. So forewarned is forearmed. Breathe. Count to 10. Remain grounded. Use that energy or it will use you. If you know anybody or are dealing with any Aries, Scorpios, or Aquarians, understand that they may be dealing with some migraine issues. You may want to back away from them. If you've got strong Aries, Scorpio, or Aquarian energy in you, you may be dealing with a migraine. Be aware. Confrontations, escalations, arguments, and eruptions are possible around this energy. And I feel like this spread is saying, please, please, please be careful. Okay, now we can move on. The Healing and Meditation Oracle card that I pulled for you is the Warmth card. It reads, cultivating warmth can help us all to project a healthy balance of emotions, neither too detached nor too swift to take offense. This meditation is a valuable aid to achieving such a balance. Consider the following, Capricorn. What emerges from my heart finds its way into daily life. My expressions of warmth will contribute to my well-being of other people. To the well-being of other people, sorry. My joy in giving happiness to others adds to my own contentment. Warmth binds me to others and diffuses hurtful emotions. Just employing warmth in your day-to-day life can help calm frayed tempers and lighten passionate exchanges. Use warmth as a moderating force. The Sage Goddess Gemstone Oracle card that I pulled for you is a Shungite card. Shungite, S-H-U-N-G-I-T-E. This card is used for clearing, purification, and transformation. It is used to help heal and amplify the vibrations of the root chakra. It reads, Shungite is a grounding stone, known as a great purifier. It removes unwanted energies and impurities from people, places, and spaces, while healing the lower chakras. You've pulled this card because you need to release any negativity residing within your auric body. Meditate with Shungite to free yourself from harmful emotions, filter energies around you, and feel deeper alignment. The final card that I pulled for you from this Divine Circus Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild is the Secret of Shinobi card. This is the 11th card of this deck. The 11th, or the 11, speaks to the 11th house on the astrological wheel, which is ruled by Aquarius. And that's the house of your friends, your groups, your teams, your the associations that you belong to, the memberships that you belong to. The 11th house also is the house of the internet. And it's the house of your future wishes, goals, and dreams. So, friends, groups, memberships, associations, teams that you may belong to. It's the house of the internet. It's the house of your future wishes, your future goals, and your future dreams. Now, this card is the Ninja Goddess card. And she is imploring you to keep your cards close to your chest at this time. This is an invitation to employ gentle persuasion methods over direct confrontation. I really think about that southern saying that they say, you get more flies with honey than vinegar. Be strategic in your communication. Keep your private affairs private at this time. And there was a healing affirmation associated with this card that I want to share with you now. It reads, my inner knowing tells me when to express myself boldly or when to remain silent for the greatest good of all. Understand and know the difference between the two. Follow your gut, and when you are being led to speak, speak and be bold about it. But when you're led to be quiet, remain silent and maintain your poker face. Capricorn, I hope you enjoyed this mid-February reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already have, I thank you from the bottom of my very grateful heart. I hope that you're well. Please take care of yourselves. And please be kind to yourselves. Save some of that kindness for others, because we're all going through private battles in our world that some of us may never speak about to another living soul. I've got 9 more videos to do now. So I'm going to let y'all go. But I hope that I'm able to not only get this video out very shortly for y'all, but also start working on that next spring video series that I can do, because I want to talk about the eclipses a little bit more, and I also want to talk about Venus retrograde season for y'all. So, fingers crossed on that series coming forward. Send me some good energy on that, and I hope you're well. Like I said, please take care, and I'll see you soon. But until then, Capricorn, namaste, and bye, y'all.